Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deep connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me how turning to Allah can lead you to amazing changes in your life. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are back with another uplifting story that will, by the grace of Allah, strengthen your faith and renew your hope, inshaAllah. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Say it with me. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allah Almighty says, and the remembrance of Allah is greater. He also says, and establish prayer for my remembrance. That means prayer is remembrance of Allah, fasting is remembrance of Allah, Hajj is remembrance of Allah, and giving charity is also remembrance of Allah. You can remember your Lord in all situations, and seeking forgiveness, Istighfar, is the master of all forms of remembrance and supplications by the will of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said, when asked about the best of deeds, he said the remembrance of Allah. One of the companions inquired about jihad, striving in the cause of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ replied, even the one striving in the cause of Allah fights with his sword until it breaks. The one who remembers Allah is better than him. Get yourself your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's get started with our story. Our sister says, honestly, I wish people knew these situations I've gone through, all by the blessings of seeking forgiveness and by the grace of Allah. I have been suffering from a herniated disc for years. It improves and then comes back again. I didn't know what to do. I was trying not to carry heavy objects or strain myself, but it always came back. For months now, however, I have been consistently seeking forgiveness. I started by the grace of Allah and then through watching your channel. You were the first person I saw who talked about seeking forgiveness. I had never heard of it before. No one had even spoken about it. In May, during the peak of my pain, I was bedridden and completely unable to move. I was looking online for remedies for herniated discs and nerve pain. I reached a point where I felt like a burden to those around me while I stayed at my parents' house. I didn't know what to do until I saw your videos on seeking forgiveness. By the grace of Allah, I began seeking forgiveness in May. Within about a week, I began to move little by little. By the grace of Allah, after 6 months, I now walk, move, and even want to perform my prayers normally. Previously, I used to pray while sitting on my chair. And I still do, but recently I've been trying to pray normally. All of this is by the blessings of seeking forgiveness and sincere repentance. Sincere repentance involves crying over every sin committed, whether it is backbiting, gossiping, listening to forbidden things, watching inappropriate shows in the past, having bad thoughts of others, or any sin. None of us is free from sin. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that since I stopped all these sins to the best of my ability and adhered to seeking forgiveness, I have experienced improvement. By the will of Allah, I firmly believe that Allah will cure me and I'm continuously improving. Alhamdulillah. And in her second story, she says, around 4 months ago, or just before I began seeking forgiveness in May, I noticed a lump in my chest. It was like an olive-sized knot, and it appeared suddenly. At first, I dismissed it, thinking it was something in the glands, or maybe a cyst. I didn't want to worry myself by going to the doctor, so I ignored it. But even while ignoring it, I continued seeking forgiveness, though I had inner fear and anxiety about what it might be. Eventually, when it didn't go away, I decided to get it checked. Financially, I was struggling, but I pushed myself to find a good place to do the scan. And on my way there, I was alone because none of my relatives were available to help due to their own obligations. I decided to rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and go on my own. I was worried about the transportation, especially since it was winter, and I had to take multiple rides to reach my destination. I kept seeking forgiveness the entire time. Then, as I was waiting for public transportation, I couldn't find anything suitable, and suddenly a government bus came by, heading directly to the area I needed. With no hassle of changing rides or enduring any discomfort, I immediately thanked Allah for facilitating this for me. When I reached the center, I paid the fees and registered. They told me I'd have to undergo an ultrasound first and wait for the results before deciding on further scans. While waiting for the doctor to start the ultrasound, I noticed something remarkable. That morning I could feel the lump clearly, but now I couldn't find it. The lump had shrunk significantly, to the point where it was almost unnoticeable, like a tiny seed. I was puzzled and overwhelmed, asking myself, where did it go? When the doctor examined me, she reassured me that there was nothing alarming, just small milk deposits or calcium buildups from past breastfeeding. There was no sign of the large lump I had been feeling for months. Even more astonishingly, when I went back to the reception, they told me I didn't need further scans and refunded me half of the fees. By Allah, I left the center in tears, overwhelmed with gratitude and faith in Allah's mercy and power. The lump that had caused me months of fear, anxiety, and stress disappeared within hours. Allah is truly near, responsive, and merciful, who responds to the one in distress when he calls upon him and removes his affliction. SubhanAllah. A beautiful story. Link down below, you'll find the original video by Sheikh Abdelsattar Al-Shami. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.